Well, Jose, long awaited, right, to get to this moment. Big show debut. So just talk to me. I mean, excitement, nerves. Like, what's the feeling right now a few days out?
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. But I acknowledge that just on paper, I could beat this guy. On paper, I could definitely beat this guy. So I'm just going to take it as a big opportunity to make a big statement and, build a name off of his back. I'm hoping that he comes out real tough, and the more of a fight he gives me, the more I can present myself.
The journey to get here took a lot longer than a lot of us thought it would. You know, there were so many things along the way. We thought you should have been in a big show earlier. I guess how difficult was that process for you to stay focused, to stay positive, to not get discouraged, when these shortcomings happened?
Well, I had a lot of people along the way, and it just seemed like when I first started, nobody really knew or cared about me. And every fight and every time I hit a banana split, now I've got more people co-signing on the fact that I belong in a big league. I go toe-to-toe. Everybody thinks I'm a grappler. I go toe-to-toe with like a really good striker, an undefeated striker, and now I've got more people co-signing on me that this is something I'm meant to do. And not only do I feel that the co-signs help for sure, but just my own belief in myself and my team, my coaches, we know that this is what I was supposed to do, that I belong here. And Friday, I just get to prove that. I just get to staple that down, and any questions that are left will be answered on Friday, and I'm really excited to do it, man. I belong here, and I'm just coming to show that I am the guy. I am the guy. The dude that just left here a little bit ago, Brendan, I will surpass him. I will surpass these guys in the coming seasons.
I love that, man. I mean, obviously, like I said, it took a long time to get here. I thought you'd be in the big show a lot earlier than you were. But even once you got here, it didn't happen right away, right?
Man, this year.
Right? So talk to me about that. I mean, look, ideally, I'm sure you would have wished you had this debut under your belt. But, I mean, is there any benefit at all in getting to experience it and getting a little taste of it before you actually make the debut?
Yeah, I think that there was two benefits. Number one, I'm in great shape. I have, in my earlier portions of my career, had bad experiences as far as like maybe not dieting as much as I should beforehand and then leaving a lot of like dehydration or water to cut. I've been in great shape for an entire year just because of everything that's kind of led up and all the fight fall-offs. It's going to happen. It doesn't happen. So, I mean, that's helped me tremendously, and I think I've been on a diet all year. I've really learned a lot about my body and my health and where I need to be at, as far as like just like regular fat and diet. But then, yes, there is the actual fight week of experiencing it. Like, I've already went through the jitters. I kind of know what to expect. I know I've never had to cut weight in a hotel like the entire time. Normally, I'm flown out the day before weigh-ins, and pretty much at that point, I'm just about on weight. Maybe got to float a couple extra pounds. But yeah, no, that was a huge experience, and it was really valuable for me to prepare me for this one, and it's going to pay off.
It's awesome, man. Talk about the matchup you have here. I think you guys were on the same CFFC card at one point in the career, right? Yes. That's kind of wild how it played out like that. So talk about the matchup you have here.
Like I said, so we were on the same card. My second pro fight was at CFFC 91, and I was pretty new to the promotion, and I was really trying to get back in, and at that point they weren't calling me back. But someone falls out due to COVID, short notice opportunity, and I came in and made a statement, and but it gave me an opportunity to kind of get the lay of the land, look at what CFFC had to offer. And this guy was the main event that night, the same night as me, same weight, fighting for the belt that I would eventually work my way up to achieving. So, I mean, I'm kind of looking at the same thing. So now we get our chance to do our little squabble, and I've got my lay of the land. I'm looking at the other guys. I'm looking over my shoulder at my peers like Brendan and Timur and Gabriel Braga, these guys, and right now they are ahead of me, but it won't remain that way for long. And it starts with Jesse Stirn. Jesse Stirn was a guy that was ahead of me. He was a guy that has more fights than me. He's got more than twice my experience. None of it matters. He's someone that's good on the ground. I'm better on the ground. He's someone that's pretty decent on the feet. I'm better on the feet. He's someone who's pretty good in wrestling. We might be about tied there. But I don't make adjustments for my opponents. I have been able to play my cards the way they were dealt to me. I'm good at the striking. We're going to strike. I'm not going to dive for legs. I got the grappling. Whether he slips and falls on a banana peel, takes me down, I take him down, whatever route it takes to where he goes to the ground, all roads lead to me taking his back and me taking his neck. Ground control or not, I am not a black belt, but I'm the black belt in this situation.
Talk to me about the little mini documentary that came out, man. I watched it this morning. Very powerful, I thought. Not only just for your own journey, but just, there's so many guys like you, right, that maybe aren't as honest and open about how they feel. What did you think seeing that piece come out and kind of putting in your journey like all into perspective?
Yeah, so this is actually his third time checking in with us, and it's weird. It's fate, man. I feel like Ray Hoy, wonderful guy, really talented. I'm super blessed that he just randomly hit me up one day and decided to pick me to like just start following my journey. And he always seems to come and do a documentary right before something pivotal in my life happens. So he showed up right before the Paul Capaldo fight, which if you don't know, that's the fight where I got cut real bad. That was like a fight of the year candidate from Fight Pass, from CFFC, from everyone, outside looking in, regardless of who you are. It's just a great fight. It was a big moment in my life, a big turning point. Showed up right before that. Just luck of the draw. He showed up right before I was going to end up getting the title for the CFFC, and actually right before one of my best friends died. And it was, none of it was something that you could plan. We didn't know what the outcome would be. It just always seemed that he shows up right before something big and pivotal happens. And he showed up right before this one, and I think this is going to be no different. I think that nobody knows me. You don't know me, but you will. You're going to learn quickly. So, I think it's a big deal. He's really good at his job, and that makes the process really easy. But then I think that, as you've heard me say before, I kind of look at myself less of a fighter, more of a martial artist. So that's why I am so transparent in how I feel and some of the real jitters, because this video is, yes, it's for the fans to get to know me. It's for the fighters that will follow the beaten path that I'm laying for them. But it's also for me. When I'm an old man and all the fight's gone, I'm going to look back on that, and I want to be able to look in my eyes and watch that video and understand that I was being honest and genuine.
That's awesome, man. Last thing for me, man. Listen, man, I've obviously been honored to see your journey firsthand, man, and know what you're capable of. What's the mindset coming in here? You're already talking about the top of the division and feeling that you belong there and will get there. So, is this just about going and registering to win, or is this like going out and doing something spectacular where immediately everybody is talking about you on Saturday morning?
What do you think? The plan is to make a statement. The plan is to dominate and then finish the fight. The plan is to make my case that I am one of the greats in this roster, and the plan is to make my case that I belong in the season for the $1 million prize, because I know for a fact that I'm going to make my statement on Friday. Hopefully they bring me back for another fight before the year's up, make another statement, maybe against one of the guys that were previously in the roster but maybe didn't make it to the end. Make a statement against one of those guys. And then, yeah, man, put me in the season next year and you will make me a millionaire. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get my happy ending to this story.
Awesome, brother. I appreciate you doing that, man. All good? You good?
Thanks, John.
Wait, no. I think my camera died.
Are you good, sir?
Yeah. I don't care. I'll talk to her.
Yeah.
So he stole my opening question with you fighting on the same card as Stirn at the beginning of your career.
You got the
good
connections
research,
there.
man.
You got to do it.
John's got the research, man. He had to. But there's also another connection that he actually didn't point out. So Miguel Torres actually, after his UFC career, came over to the World Series of Fighting and had 2 fights. Does it kind of like continue your story for you to be here now?
No, yeah. So obviously I have that connection with Miguel Torres, and it's actually a really big connection. The guy adopted me when my mom died when I was in 8th grade, and I think that I was already on path to be a fighter, and I already was kind of looking at things like, I really want to be a fighter. Everything growing up was always angled, and my trajectory was always pointed at being a fighter. There was no plan B. That was always what it was. But I think that when I moved in with Miguel and just kind of, that gave me real perspective that most people who get into fighting, they don't really understand what fighting is. I knew wholeheartedly and the full spectrum, the good, the bad, the evil, all the way up to the rise when you're the man, and how hard and quick that fall is. And I don't talk to Miguel a lot anymore, but I always try to pay homage and respect to where I got this jiu-jitsu from, where I got a lot of my ideology and fighting from. And yes, I did know. I see pictures sometimes with him in World Series of Fighting, and it's a lot of the same crew, like the main guys. So I do know that the two are the same thing. But yeah, man, it's everybody wants to grow up and do what their parents did. And as far as in this sport and in martial arts, that's my dad. That's my guy. That's my, that was my predecessor. And doing it in the same arena that he did it is a big deal, because I want to respectfully outdo him. And I think that's the best homage I could give him, is just kill everything around me. And that would be the best way to pay respect.
So you had 7 fights in 16 months earlier in your career. Do you feel like what you're capable of physically really plays into the PFL?
Yes. The reason I didn't continue fighting at that rate wasn't my body. It wasn't fear, and it wasn't inhibition or hesitation as far as taking fights. I've had a hard time with my coach and made sure that, like, hey, like, I've accepted every fight that they've offered me. You've never said no to something and not told me, right? And he says no, so as far as I know, I've accepted everything. But I understand that I started to show my value pretty early. I don't take fights the easy route. I don't compete. I fight. I'm not going out there to score points and win. I'm going out there to do damage and take risks, and sometimes those risks mean that I take damage in the process. And I just knew and understood that I would eventually be in an organization like this. It was a little bit later than I had hoped, but I knew that I would be here. And I didn't want to take all of that damage when no one was watching and when I wasn't being compensated at the rate that I feel I deserve. And now people will be watching, and I will be compensated. And I know that I can keep that pace up. 4 fights a year is the best thing for me. I am closest to God when I'm training, when I'm closest to God when I'm about to fight. I am happiest when I have a routine, and 8 weeks ago, I was repeating what I'm doing currently. I have a routine. I have it down to a science, and man, dude, I could do great things in this promotion. And I think could is being lightly. We don't know what will happen, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to do great things in this promotion.
So you started your career off very hot. Then you had to go take some time away, spend some time with family, and go back to work, because that's life. Now you're here in the PFL with the chance to make more money than you have ever in this sport. Just what's going through your head throughout this week? What's been going through your head since you've been, like, taking it all in that, like, I am in the PFL?
I don't know. It feels pretty similar to, obviously, I'm in a different place. I'm with new people. The crew that works the promotion is different, and I'm still getting to know them. But a fight's a fight, man, and it feels the same. I'm tenacious as hell, and that's in regional promotions. That's in PFL. That would be if you disrespected me in line at a gas station. That's just, this is who I am, and I don't really have to play a role. There's no special feelings. This is who I am. This is what I do, and it doesn't feel different being here. I know that it's a bigger promotion. Maybe I have my perspective off because I haven't actually fought for them yet, and maybe I'll feel differently after the fight. But this feels the same. I feel at home. I feel comfortable. No jitters, no worries. I just know that I'm doing what I was supposed to do a long time ago.
So a big thing with your career has been putting your friends on. You've put Bo Samaniego on. He got into CFFC. Rest in peace, Hennyman. He got into CFFC. When do we get to see Bo in the PFL?
I love Bo, and I love the PFL, and I'm happy to be here. I kind of hope that he goes the UFC route, just so that maybe he's 45, I'm 45. We train together every day. We hang out a lot. So, I mean, the natural question that gets brought up by family and friends is, so who would win? So who would win? You know, that's kind of been a problem for him back in CFFC, is the roster's there, but it's not huge. And he doesn't want to live in my shadow. He doesn't want to continue to fight the same guys that I'm fighting, you know, because he got offered Frank Wells, and we would love to smoke you, Frank Wells. We would love to destroy you. But first question you get asked by your little brother is, you think you're going to do them worse than Jose did them? It's automatically a competition, and it's that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking to do that. So I kind of hope if he gets into PFL, I'm happy for him. Maybe we could still run the route and avoid each other. I hope that he gets into a different promotion and makes his money that way, and then that way we can just train together and we don't have to be like always synonymous with each other. But yes, I do like putting my guys on, maybe like a Chris Williams, someone like that, you know, a Lewis, a Steve. Put someone like that in a PFL, I'd be happy to do that. I'm glad you brought that up. That is like a big deal to me. It is. I am appreciative that I didn't just run off to like an American top team or a Kill Cliff. You know, obviously I want to be somewhere with nice weather, but I like what I'm doing, and I like how I'm doing it. So I'm not just doing what I want to do. I'm doing it how I want to do it. I'm doing it with the people that are from the neck of the woods where I'm from. I'm doing it for people that have similar backgrounds as me. I'm doing it with people that I actually like. I'm not going and trying to brush shoulders with someone because that guy's in the UFC. And if I put enough pictures on Instagram with that guy and he's in the PFL and I got pictures with that guy, that doesn't make you a better fighter. I'm creating my protagonist. I told Bo what my weaknesses were, and he naturally gravitated towards getting better at those because that was the quickest way to be competitive with me. And you know what I'm saying? So I'm making fighters better so that I can be better.